I prefer you sit while I talk.
People stand when they're preparing to leave, and I've had quite enough departures for one lifetime. I suppose I should introduce myself. My name is Lydia Marin, 70 years old this spring, though the mirror insists on adding 5 extra. Tonight, I want to tell you a truth I've never spoken aloud. Not to my children, not to my so-called friends, not even to the man at the center of it all. Truth about love, yes, but not young love, not easy love, and certainly not the kind they write songs about. This is a story of old love, complicated love, desperate love, the kind that creeps up on you when you thought passion had packed up and left decades ago. And it all began in the room behind me, the Peacock Room. Minute 3 to 8, the room. The Peacock Room wasn't always mine. It belonged to my grandfather, a man who believed beauty was a form of worship. He spent half his fortune commissioning that mural, peacocks with jeweled feathers, a sky gilded in thin sheets of gold, and flowers painted with such precision you could almost smell them. A room built to impress guests, who are now long buried. For years I ignored it, locked it up, avoided the ghosts of golden days my family no longer lived. But one morning, in a fit of foolish sentimentality, I unlocked it. The sun fell across the mural, and what once shimmered now sagged. Paint cracked, colors dulled, a century of glamour collapsing before my eyes. So I called an art restorer, and that's when Milo entered my life. He arrived wearing the kind of quiet confidence only the very young possess, a confidence not yet taxed by failure. 27, he told me, old enough to have skill, young enough to still believe in things. His hands fascinated me. You learn a lot from a person's hands. His were steady, precise. If stories like this speak to you, consider subscribing. The way some people look at injured animals, with sympathy and eagerness to heal. And for the first time in years, someone stood in that room and saw possibility. Instead of decay, he spoke softly, respectfully, explaining how he'd revive the colors, repair the cracks, bring back the glory. All I heard was this: "You are not beyond restoration." Of course, he didn't say that. He said nothing of the sort. But the heart hears what it wants, especially when it's starving. My children didn't like him. They pretended to. But children sense competition, even when they do not know its name. They ask too many questions. How much I was paying him, why he was there so often, whether he'd been vetted, whether he'd been. What was the word my eldest used? At their age, I had 3 lovers and a husband, and managed to keep them all satisfied, without a single complaint about boundaries. But age makes people sanctimonious, especially toward their elders. I watched Milo work every afternoon. I pretended to read, but the truth? I watched him. The way his brow furrowed at tiny details, the care with which he touched the mural's faded surface. People forget. Attention is an aphrodisiac of the soul, not sexual, spiritual. To be seen, truly seen, is a rare luxury, especially for women my age. I didn't want his body. I wanted his attention, and the feeling that I still held enough beauty to deserve it. He began to talk to me, not out of obligation, out of comfort. He told me about his childhood, his mother's illness, his father's silence, the way art saved him when adults failed him. And I told him things I hadn't told anyone. Not lovers, not husbands, not children who only pretend to care. I told him about the loneliness that sits beside you like an uninvited dinner guest. If you felt something tonight, leave a like so I'll know. About wealth that brings comfort, but steals intimacy. About the emptiness of sleeping in a bed that has known too many goodbyes. He listened. He didn't correct me, didn't judge, didn't look at his watch. Do you know what that kind of listening does to a person? Especially to a woman whose voice the world has decided is no longer worth hearing? It resurrects you. I didn't know I was becoming attached. Not at first. Attachment is sly, a slow-growing vine. It wraps around you gently until one day you realize you can't move without it tugging at your heart. I made excuses to see him, brought tea I didn't drink, sat in the room when I had no business being there, asked about his life and pretended his answers weren't the highlight of my day. I told myself it was inspiration, curiosity, artistic interest. But if I'm honest, and I promised you honesty, it was longing, a word women my age are forbidden to feel, unless it's for grandchildren or peace of mind. But I longed, not to be young again, not to possess him, only to feel relevant, influential, significant in someone's world, instead of politely tolerated. Around this time, my investments began to unravel. A venture I trusted collapsed, taking a sizable portion of my wealth along with it. My children panicked. They equate money with safety, a reasonable but limiting belief. Suddenly they watched me more closely. Every expense, every visitor, every decision. And by decision, I mean Milo. They convinced themselves he was manipulating me, using me. Seduction by kindness, they said. That one stung. The idea that kindness from a younger man could only be a tactic. It says more about the cynicism of the young than the desires of the old. Then the painting disappeared. A priceless piece. My grandfather's portrait. Gone. My children blamed Milo immediately, called him a thief, said this was proof of their suspicions. He denied it, of course, with trembling voice. Eyes wounded, not offended. If you'd like to hear the next chapter, stay with me. He didn't steal it. I did. I arranged the sale quietly, behind everyone's back. I accepted a figure that would make any collector weep, far lower than its worth, because I wasn't buying wealth. I was buying meaning, purpose, legacy. I took the money and funded his dream, a studio of his own, a place where beauty would continue long after I was gone. He cried when he found out. Not tears of gratitude, tears of confusion. Why would you do this? He asked. I could not tell him the truth, that I wanted to matter to him, even if only in the shadows of his life. He left the next week, gently, painfully, with more kindness than I deserved. He didn't cut me off completely. He sent letters, thoughtful ones, updates about the studio, photos of restored works. But he did not return. Not truly. Not to me. And that was the moment I realized. I had not given him a gift. I had given him freedom. Love, obsession, longing, whatever you call it, cannot bind a person. At best, it can push them toward their own future, just not toward you. When my children discovered the sale and the money's destination, they were furious. Betrayed, they said. Manipulated, they said. Victims of my foolishness, they said. Victims. Imagine that. Children who have lived their entire lives off the comfort of my sacrifices, calling themselves victims. They demanded I revoke the gift. Sue Milo. Undo what was done. I laughed. A full unladylike laugh. That startled even me. You cannot return meaning. You cannot retrieve purpose. And you cannot drag back a moment of truth once it has been lived. So here's what I learned, and what I want you to take with you. Desire doesn't retire. The heart does not care how many birthdays you've survived. Attention is a form of love, even when it isn't romance. Loneliness is not a shame, only silence is. Stay until the very end. The last sentence matters. And the greatest gift you can give another person is the chance to become themselves, even if becoming themselves means losing you. I'm not ashamed of what I felt for Milo. It was not sexual. It was not delusional. It was simply beautiful. He restored the mural. I restored him. And in the process, for a brief, trembling moment, I restored myself. That is all. You may stand now, if you wish. Thank you for listening to the truth. I was afraid to tell. Until tonight. There's more I haven't told you yet.